Now that you have all prepared, from setting up domains, warming them up, and defining your ideal customer profile, it's time for us to skip to the fun part of engaging with your prospects. In this module, we'll take a look at what cold emailing is and set some tactics, basics, and elements that can make your copy convert and stand out from the crowd. First of all, let's see what cold emailing is. It's the process when you actually reach out to people that you don't actually know, for the sake of establishing a contact, reaching out to offer some services or product, or offer help. Hence, it's important to have a neatly structured copy for your cold emails to achieve those results. Now let's see what a good email should look like. You'll need to include an email subject line, proceed with email content in the email body with relevant icebreakers to start with, also include some call to actions and triggers in the copy, and simply sign off with a professional signature in the end. In this part of the module, we'll explore some good practices for writing subject lines. The first thing that your prospects see when they receive your cold emails is the subject line and date. That's why it's crucial to have a well-structured subject lines to lead the readers to open your emails, read through them, and potentially take some action and reply to you. From there, those subject lines have to be very concise, short and simple, 3 to 5 words at maximum, have relevant content for the recipient, to make sense and not be misleading and present something else rather than what you're reaching out for. Before we dive into what you should write into the subject lines, let's first say what you shouldn't do. When crafting your subject lines, don't be too general or insert content with zero value for the prospects. Don't write, for instance, just checking in or scale you're rich when they don't really know what you're reaching out for. Don't reference something that cries for their attention, and don't include your company name into the subject lines when it seems like pitching from the very first start. What you also shouldn't do is to have slightly too long subject lines that can take up the whole email body. Avoid spelling errors at any cost, and don't write any suspicious content that is not relevant to what you're reaching out for. Lastly, don't use all capital letters so you don't seem rude to them. Instead, try presenting a solution to a challenge they might be facing, a relevant story that may have a higher impact on how they will look at the content for your emails. Try some referrals as well in the subject lines, and also a best practice will be to really personalize a whole subject line that is directed to the right prospects. Now let's move to the email body and what you should bear in mind when writing one. Same as the subject lines, the content of the emails is the most important indicator of how successful your outreach will be. The copy of the emails is advisable to be concise, short, and very simple, brief, and easily scannable for the prospects. When preparing the cold email outreach and the emails for it, each email has to be standalone and have diverse value with what's in it for me, so the prospects know the exact personalization and the value you're trying to provide for them, so they have a clear expectations out of them. As we mentioned in the email overview in the beginning, the body of the email should include relevant CTAs, or call to actions or click to actions. For example, that can be an open-ended question that prospects are expected to reply to. It can be asking for a certain referral to a relevant person for the company, or clicking on a particular link to redirect them to a certain website, video, blog, article, landing page, or a certain valuable visual for them to look at. Also, you can insert a calendar link for a possible click to action to initiate booking more calls with the leads. Lastly, a possible call to action would be the breakup email itself, towards the end of the sequence, where you can be more creative, improve the content, or present something more valuable to them, include more humor, and be as creative as possible to promote connection with the people you're outreaching to. The important thing here is to include only one CTA per email and try to be as creative as possible into the sequence so you don't actually repeat one single CTA twice.